Hello and welcome to our online class of social science. Today we will discuss second chapter of class 6th, from hunting gathering to growing food. It is the part of our history chapter. In this chapter we will discuss how the ancient people of our country they gathered and arranged their food, because it is very important to know about the ancient civilization. If we discuss about the history, simply we may say that it is the study of the past, and without the knowledge of the ancient time it is very difficult to live in present. In this chapter we will discuss following contents. First one is the earliest people. Why were they on move? How do we know about these people? Choosing a place to live in, changing an environment, beginning of farming and herding, the new way to life, and towards a settled life. These following contents we will cover in this chapter. So first of all, let me tell you about one of the story which is given in this chapter. In the beginning of this chapter, one story is given. That story is about Neo lunch. One of the girl is shown in the picture, and she said that her favorite food is boiled rice, squash, pumpkin, bean, meat, etc. So she remembered the food which was totally different when she visited Madhya Pradesh region, and she took some spicy food during her trip. This was a school trip. So she remembered that in India we have diversity of foods. Different foods are used in different parts of the country. So on the basis of this story only we can understand that how the people of ancient time, how they lived, what food they used. Let's start discussing the para number 1 of this chapter, in which we are discussing that hunter gatherers moved from place to place. Why hunter gatherers? Hunter gatherers, here it refers that people who killed the animals, who lived in group. Why they moved from place to place? Even today we travel from one place to another place in search of our job, for entertainment, for jogging, for various purposes we move from one place to another place. So here the point comes that why people of ancient time they moved from one place to another place. So the first reason of the movement of these hunter gatherers from one place to another place is the search of food. People of that time means they moved from one place to another place in search of their food, because they were totally dependent on hunting of the animals. As I told you in the beginning, it is written that hunter gatherers means that time they had their settled life too, but most of them were nomadic people. They were moving from place to place in search of the food, or for killing the animals they moved from one place to another place. Second point is for the prey of deer and wild animals. Means for killing the deer and wild animals, these people they moved from one place to another place. in search of grass and leaves too. They moved because they domesticated some of the animals, and for the pasture of their animals, for the grass and leaves for their animals, they had to move from one place to another place. The fourth point related to their movement is that those who hunted animals, they had to follow the movement of the animals at a long distance. Meanwhile, the point is, if you are chasing any animal, you have to run behind that animal for a long distance. So this was the another purpose. That's why they moved from one place to another place. Next reason is plants and trees bear the fruits in different seasons, because they lived at few places. And you might have noticed that plants and trees, they bear fruits in different seasons. Sometimes it is mango season, sometimes it is apple season, it is grape season, it is jamun season or so. We are not getting all the fruits throughout the year. Season wise, seasonal fruits we are getting, pears, guava, etc. So to find the different fruits and plants also, people of that time, they moved from one place to another place. Next reason of their movement is in search of water, because that time means they were totally dependent on the season or rivers. Some rivers were rain fed rivers. So during their dry season or winters and summers, they had to change their places in search of the water. That's why they moved from one place to another place. Now question come that how do we come to know about these people? What are the sources? Because we can come to know about the ancient period through the sources only. Sources means by the way we found the evidences of that way, that time. So archaeologists, they found different sources about these people, about that timing. So one of the important source is stone, which you can see on the right side of this picture. Bones were used that time, means archaeologists, they found the bones of animals, even human being of that time. Inscriptions are found. Inscriptions, as I told in the previous chapter, if you will see the video of previous chapter, inscriptions, here it refers that writings on the hard surface, mainly on any of the stone or any plate, metal plate. Pots are also found from these regions. I will show you in the next slide. You can see the examples of some of the pots. Here you can see one example of the pot is given. Not only today, people of ancient time, means in the stone ages also, they used these pots made up of the sand. Stone was the main tool of these people. We will discuss about the uses of the stones that time. Coins, they used some coins, metallic coins, although these were not of fine shape, but they used some coins. Some buildings are also found, by which we come to know about the ancient period, some of the buildings. Now here you can see one example of the stone, that what were the main uses of tools, or mainly this stone. So why they used stone? As you all are aware that in ancient time, the discovery of light or fire, that was also means by the use of, by rubbing of two stones only. So they cut their meat and bones by the use of stone. Scraping of bark from the trees or the hide from the animals, means that was also done by the stone. You might see that the edges of the stone is sharp. Edge of the stone is sharp. So they chop fruits also, fruits and the roots. You might have noticed that nowadays also for ground nuts or nuts or for various other purposes, for peeling and other purposes, we use stone tools. For hunting the animals also they use stone. They used to kill the animals by throwing the stones on them, because their stones were very sharp, means they used to make the sharp stone tools. For making drawings on the walls of the caves as well as on the mountainous region, on any other stone, they used to do the drawing by using these stone tools. So here are some other uses. One by one we will discuss that. Tools were used to chop the wood, for chopping the wood also, which was used as a firewood, because that time people in the you can say latest in stone age, because stone age generally we divide into three parts: Paleolithic, Mesolithic and Neolithic. Paleolithic, here this word paleo refers to old, lithic refers to stone, old stone age. Then refers to next one is Mesolithic. Mesolithic means middle stone age. And Neolithic. Neolithic refers to new stone age. So in the last phases of the stone ages, they used to you can say cook their food by the use of fire also. Here are some of the pictures of sharp stone tools they used, just like present tools, as we are using axe, bow, arrow. They also used some of the stone tools to kill the animals. And to make the shape of these tools, they used some handles also. Handles of bones and woods was also used at that time to make spears and arrows. For the hunting they used these tools. So here we have some of the evidences of this Paleolithic period. About the Paleolithic period, let me tell you that Paleolithic word, this word is a combination of two words. One is paleo, paleo meaning is old, and the lithic refers to stone, means old stone. This period is known as old stone age. This is known as the old stone age period. And about the dates, means there are different views of historians about the age, the beginning of this period. But here you will find in your book, NCERT book, that it began from 2 million years ago. 1 million is around 10 lakhs. So about 20 lakh years ago to about 12,000 years ago, this period is known as Paleolithic period. This is a long stretching time which is divided into the three main stages: lower Paleolithic period, middle Paleolithic period and upper Paleolithic period. So this long span of time, it covers around 99% of the human history, means this history is covered during this period, this Paleolithic period. Now coming to next part, next stone age. This stone age is known as Mesolithic period. This is Mesolithic period. Mesolithic refers to middle stone age. Meanwhile, this was the period, means in which stone tools, means most of the tools, their shapes changed. This time instead of using the large tools, they started using some of the tiny means here it refers small, or microliths. Microliths were probably stuck on handles of bones and woods to make the tools such as saws, sickles, because this time they started the agricultural work in this period. So this is known as Mesolithic period. Here Meso means middle, lithic refers to stone age. Middle stone age period is known as Mesolithic period. Here we have the third stone age period, which is known as Neolithic period. Okay, this Neolithic period, meanwhile, new stone age. This is known as New Stone Age period, means in which the period timing is considered as 10,000 years ago, you can say till 2000 BC, or the civilization of first civilization of India, Indus Valley civilization, which we will discuss in our next chapter. When you will read and watch the next video, you will understand the importance of these periods and the Indus Valley civilizations too. So Neolithic refers to new stone age. Neo means new, lithic means stone age. So we found evidences of new stone age too during this period. So during this period, means here we have one example of the glossary word, which is sites. So what does it mean, site? The meaning of the site is given here in this slide, that the sites are the places where the remains of things like tools, pots, buildings, these are found, just like this Harappan site, Mohenjo-daro site. In Haryana we found Mitathal, Banavli, Rakhigadi. In Punjab, means these Harappan sites like Ropar. In Gujarat, Lothal, Dholivera. In Sindh province also, means we found Mohenjo-daro. In Montgomery, in Pakistan region, we found Harappan evidences of, means these are called sites from where we found the evidences. So that time they used different shapes, different tools, means which were used to make the food, which were used to collect the food, kill the animals. For these purposes these tools were used. Here in this chapter we have one evidence of Kurnool cave, means Kurnool cave evidence is given in this chapter. So what was this Kurnool cave, where it is present? Means let me tell you that Kurnool is a place from where we found the evidences of ash. Okay, traces of ashes have been found from this region. This is mainly the found this place is in the ancient in the southern part of India, mainly present Telangana region. Earlier it was the part of Andhra. So from Kurnool we found some evidences of this period, the Stone Age period. We can come to know that people of that time, they used fire, means fire evidences, ash evidence that has been found from this Kurnool cave region, that fire could have been used for many things, not only for light but to roast their meat and to scare the animals. So this Kurnool region of present Telangana or the Andhra, means this is also very important. Although environment change, after the changing of the environment, means after 12,000 years ago in Neolithic, Mesolithic period, there were major changes in the environment, and weather also changed because of the environmental change, and which resulted the development of the grasslands in the areas. Many grasslands developed. Due to these grasslands, the number of the animals increased, just like deer, antelope, goat, sheep, cattle. These are surviving on these animals, these grasses. That's why there was development of these animals during this period. And the food habits of the people also changed time to time because of the number of the animals. When it is increased, so people started killing these animals. They started rearing and domesticating these animals for their personal use. Meanwhile, they kept these animals at their home. We have one more evidence of Mehergarh site. This Mehergarh site, it has been excavated from the Pakistan region in the northwest provinces. From this site we found, you can say, some of the evidences of barley and wheat. Barley and wheat evidences we have found from this region. Here you can see This is very famous site of ancient time. From here we found some of the animal bones also, animal bones as well as the bones of the human being, means that is also found. Here you can see that burial sites, burial here it refers means after the death of the any person, means when they were buried under the ground. So from burial site of Mehergarh we have found one instance. You can see that one skeleton of one man along with the skeleton of one goat. So we found an evidence that dead person was buried with goats, which were probably meant to serve the food in the next world. Meanwhile they believed in rebirth type of theory also. They believed that means after the death, means man will take birth once again in the next world, and this goat will help him to serve the food. Even from this Mehergarh site we found one evidence of a rectangular house, means the square house you can see. Let me tell you one of the cave painting which has been given, which is given in this chapter. And this cave painting is excavated by the archaeologists in France, means in the European country France, means it is discovered by some of the school children in the beginning stage. Later on research were done by the historians and archaeologists that this painting means was to be considered between 20,000 years ago to 10,000 years ago. That people of that time they used to make some paintings of the animals on the walls. Here you may see that one bison is shown in this animal, in this painting. They used minerals, iron ore and charcoal most probably for making these paintings. I hope some of the points you understood in this chapter. Keep watching the videos for more understanding. Thank you very much. Have a nice day.